Hello, I am presenting the section on literacy. So just to lay the groundwork, literacy has been a high priority in the United States for a while. There is definitely a lot of public attention when it comes to ELA instruction and education. For one, we know that our country's future in the workforce depends on this, which makes it definitely a high priority. So some of the questions that arise when we think about this as a priority is, how can we break the cycle of failure that we've seen in the past? And what's it going to take to help all of our students succeed academically? So the International Reading Association, also known as the IRA, has created some standards for reading professionals. These are going to outline and describe what candidates for the reading profession should know and be able to do in professional settings. So for this case, teachers. The standards represent the working characteristics that any complex organization might exhibit in order to be responsive and responsible to its clients, and these indicators can be oriented to meet the needs of school districts. So the standards that they have laid out are divided into 6 categories. The first one is foundational knowledge. This is really where they set expectations for practical knowledge around reading and writing, and then also focusing on some of those evidence-based foundations and practices. The second standard would be curriculum and instruction. This is focusing on the need to prepare educators with effective practices in partnership with well-articulated curriculum, and that involves traditional print as well as digital and online resources. The third standard is assessment and evaluation. Teachers need to be prepared to use a variety of assessment tools to plan and evaluate their reading and writing instruction. The fourth is centered around diversity. So focusing on the idea that teachers should be able to engage their students in curriculum and materials that reflect the diversity in our society. And this will revolve around things like race, ethnicity, class, gender, religion, and language. So making sure that materials, instructional practices, all of that reflects diversity in multiple ways. The next standard is literate environment, so that teachers should create an environment that really fosters literacy through curriculum, materials, strategies, approaches, methods, and use of assessments. The last standard is professional learning and leadership, and this standard focuses on the fact that reading professionals must commit to lifelong learning, and they should be able to model and foster that within their classrooms. So one thing that we're probably all very familiar with are Common Core standards, and Common Core standards really have 4 developments within English curriculum. The first is this idea of developing a widespread interest in the composing process, as well as concomitant attention to diverse types of writing. The next development is providing a more comprehensive and diversified view of students and response to literature. There's also focusing on the teaching of critical thinking within English. And then the last is integrating ELA and developing the language skills students need to pursue life's goals and to participate fully in society. Some of the things that the Common Core standards provide are clarity about what students are supposed to learn within English language arts curriculum. They really are able to zero in on the most important knowledge and the skills that students need to have, and then really focusing on the fact that they're giving all students an equal opportunity to develop those skills. Within the Common Core standards, they provide a framework as well as a literacy checklist. That framework includes integrated model of literacy, focusing in on cumulative model of expectations. There's a shared responsibility for students' literacy development. There's research and media skills that should be blended into the standards as a whole, and then greater use of on grade level text. And then that literacy checklist helps focus in on those different skills and provides a rating scale for students depending on their development of those skills.